approve the payment of a reimbursement of travel expenses for all elected officials for attendance at the National League of Cities, the City Summit in Charlotte, North Carolina on November 15th through the 18th of 2017. We had a long discussion on this also, and so I make a motion to approve item 24-17-35.
Okay. We have a motion to approve item 24-17-35, and it relates to the National League of Cities conference in November. So I have a motion on the floor to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 24-17-35. Are there any additional questions or comments? I know we talked about this.
Madam Mayor, I did have a comment, and I think I raised this question on Thursday night. I would feel much better about this item if we had been given more time to investigate the viability and the usefulness of what anyone other than you, the mayor, would receive that might benefit our city and the citizens of the city for the amount of money that we're thinking of spending. So without having that information, I would not have been in favor of this, as I mentioned on Thursday night. Possibly in the future, if we were to change our ordinance to allow this as an approved meeting for any or all of the city officials, I would suggest that we anticipate possibly which ward may have work going on in its area that may then need for that ward representative, that councilman, to attend on the city's behalf, possibly in addition to the mayor. But I understand this is coming up rather quickly, and just don't feel comfortable with the expenditure of those funds without more information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Councilman Adams. Are there any other subsequent discussions as relates to this item? I do have.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
I recognize Councilmember Burden.
Yes. I'd just like to make a comment. I went through the agenda and the courses that are offered at the League of Cities in November, and being the chair of transportation, there are some items that will be discussed on a national level. For those that don't know, that President Trump's, one of his items of priority is infrastructure. So there will be information given on a national level of how we can improve transportation. And being that I am in Ward 3 and we have a large transportation project that is underway, Highway 92, it would be beneficial, in my opinion, to attend the conference and also attend the workshop in regards to transportation and what is available on a national level that we do not receive at GMA. And also there will be representatives from the federal level that will be presenting as well, and not just for transportation, but also affordable housing issues. All of, I would say all, but maybe one public housing projects are located in Ward 3 in our district. So just to discuss what's happening on the national level and be abreast of what's coming forward is also another course that I would like to attend that is not offered at GMA. I do agree with Councilman Adams that most definitely the council members have a right to get information. However, I think education is power. I would like to be able to attend, and in the future, if there are, and it would be different if there are other cities within the state of Georgia that do attend this National League conference. This is the first time, so I would hope that we would open and broaden the opportunity for us to go and get information and bring back to the city, not just to bring the information, not just to go, but to bring back the information, see what we can use and implement it in our ward and also for the city of Douglasville. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilman Burdanley. Yes, sir, Councilman?
Madam Mayor, I have not been to a National League of Cities summit, but I have when I served on the Board of Education. I did go to the National School Boards Association. I found that experience extremely informative. In fact, I took some of the information that I learned at that city and implemented it in the county here, saving the county millions of dollars that I would not have been able to know of through the Georgia School Boards Association. I can't tell you it's the same thing. It was used against me in a subsequent election, making it look like I had a vacation, but that is not the situation. There are classes all the time, whether it's out of town, and then I am concerned about funding through the city, but usually there's many different areas of information that's produced at these types of conferences, and all of our council people can't be there at the same time. And also, quite frankly, some of our council folks have different philosophies about things, and so we're just designating it to one particular person or another, and maybe that could be problematic, but it's just a reality issue. So I think it's a good opportunity to learn, and it's not a vacation. I've seen some stuff on Facebook saying that it was we're getting vacation on the city dollars. This is not a vacation. I do CLEs through the bar association, and the city's requirements for credit are more stringent than the bar association, frankly. So those are my comments.
Thank you so much, Councilmember
Madam Mayor,
Watts.
first of all, I'd just like to thank Councilwoman Burdanley for her explanation. It cleared up a lot of things in my mind. And I just, on the one hand, you got transparency where a lot of the citizens, they want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do agree with Councilman Adams that maybe we could have discussed this sooner in earlier meetings. That way, we wouldn't be here tonight having to explain in great detail. But I think it sounds like there's a lot of value to some of the meetings that Councilwoman Burdanley is talking about attending. So anyway, I just appreciate that explanation.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other comments from council members?
Madam Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Mayor, with me being chair of education and training, I would like to see staff, council, if there's something that's going to help move them along, I would like to see them go and visit the other cities and see what's going on. And I talked to my chief. I'm over public safety. He is carrying 4 of his officers to Arizona for education and training. And this would be good. The League of Cities is good. There's small cities like Hiram, Powder Springs, Austell, going to represent first-time attendees. And there must be something there for the mayor of Austell to send his people, approve his people to go. So it's good. I go with it.
Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. Councilman Siegel?
I don't want to be the odd man out, so I guess I should say something. The way our ordinance is written is that any trainings that aren't on the pre-approved list would come before the council and the public for voting, so that those who want to partake can then explain why, and then we vote. So I would say the ordinance works, the process works. We've followed exactly what the ordinance has set up, and we've heard the explanations.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, council members. It's been lively discussion, and I would just add to the discussion, Mr. Chairman of Finance, that of course, as Councilman Siegel has stated, our training and travel expense ordinance does have a pre-approved events for all elected officials, and this is not one of the events, but it does say that when we voted on March 6, 2017 of this year, that if there was some additional training, that we could bring forth that training as council members, and it is within allocated budget for the council member to attend. I think the time constraints were given because we had to register before a certain time for Councilman Adams and Councilman Watts. There was a time constraint, and we wanted to not incur any penalties for fees of attending or registering for the classes and for the conference. And there may be a first-time waiver of some kind of fees or something. And City Manager, do you mind weighing in on that discussion or comment?
I don't have a great bit of detail, but I do know registering at this point, you do get early bird registration. That is the benefit. There is some cost savings on the registration fee, and I do believe there is a slight savings as well for first-time attendees, which the city would be a first-time attendee. The estimated costs are going to run very similar to what the estimated costs are for the Georgia Municipal Association training, specifically since the location is Charlotte, North Carolina. But of course, all of that will be dependent upon which classes you're taking, which days you're going, how long that you're staying. So you can estimate the cost to be somewhere very similar to your trips to Savannah for the annual convention of the Georgia Municipal Association.
Thank you so much, City Manager. So those are all of the discussions that we had. And of course, if we wanted to go back and revisit changing the ordinance and opening up, we can talk at that time, but if not, then whatever the pre-approved travel and training expenses and conferences are set where they are, and if not, then we'll bring it before the entire body, as we've done tonight.
Very good.
Thank you so much. So not having any other comments or questions, we have a proper motion and second to approve item 24-17-35. Any other comments? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We have one opposed. So the ayes have it. Item 24-17-35 is approved.